thought I was done with heartbreak. It's something that we all go through in some way, shape, or form. You meet somebody that feels like you're somebody, and then before you know it, you're in love. It hasn't even been that long, but every time you're around that person, it feels like it's a safe space. Time starts to pass so fast because the reality is you're not even paying attention. Lost in the sauce, some would say. You wake up 8 months later, dealing with this person every day, but something's different now. That love facade is starting to fade away. You're starting to see the chinks in the armor, starting to notice the flaws that you used to overlook. The things that you thought weren't a big deal are suddenly starting to really annoy you. That's not everybody's love story, and I'm not gonna lie, after the age of 22, I thought I was done feeling this way. I thought there's no way that I'm going to fall back in love, or at least not in a way that it's going to be to my detriment. I've learned all the lessons, gotten cheated on. I've been a dickhead in a relationship and had to pay my consequences. I thought at this point in my life, I've learned everything that I need to know when it comes to women. The next girl that I settle down with is gonna be the last. Here we go. We haven't done this in a while. This story takes place at about the age of 26. A lot has changed since my younger days. Financially, I'm pretty stable. I've been through enough bad relationships to know what I want and don't want out of one. And I'm living on my own now. It's just me and my dog. If you guys know anything about my lore, I spent a lot of time living with my best friend Feek. Still my best friend to this day. Shout out to my nigga Feek. But it was a new chapter for me. Finally in my own space on my ones. And as you can imagine, I was excited for this new chapter in my life, man. I'm finally on my ones. If I want to walk around in this motherfucking kitchen naked, I could do that. I'm really soaking it in at this point. I'm waking up at whatever time. I'm eating at whatever time. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping on my couch in my drawers. I'm doing all types of bullshit because I'm on my own now. This is my spot. While I genuinely enjoyed that, as time went on, the loneliness started to kick in. There's a big difference between moving out of your parents' house and living on your own, but with your friends, and then genuinely having your own space. There's a lot of pros, but I promise you that silence in that crib starts to get very loud after a while. Especially on them late nights, man. You sitting there just staring up at the ceiling, being confused. God damn, I'm really in this bitch by myself. And I'm gonna be honest, after a few months of that, I started to really feel that shit. I was lonely. But this time around, it was a little bit different. As I said, I'm 26 at the time. This is not a feeling that I haven't felt before. There was more maturity that came with this feeling. Understanding that just because I feel lonely doesn't mean that my life has to stop. It's just more of like, okay, I think it might be time to be a little bit more intentional about potentially entering the dating scene. So what does that look like for me at 26 years old? Nothing really. I feel like when you finally start to understand what it means to be emotionally available, it doesn't mean you just wake up and start going out and seeking a relationship. It just means that I've acknowledged that I'm mentally in this space now. I'm just gonna weigh my options if that presents itself to me. That's pretty much what I did. I would say another 2 to 3 months went by and I might have talked to a couple women here and there, but ultimately nothing really came out of it and I was just minding my business until one day. This is about to be one of the craziest stories I've told y'all when it comes to relationships in a long time, but come on, rock out with me. Let's go. Drop a like on this video, man. Come on. Introducing Jamie. Much like other traumatizing Berto dating stories, this girl Jamie was introduced to me via Instagram. At this point, you think I just learned, bro. Just stay away from the Instagram hoes. So, I'm scrolling one day on IG, and I see this girl who catches my attention. I'm just keeping it a stack. Her name's Jamie, and she looks good, man. I'm looking at her, and I'm genuinely just caught my attention. And I was like, well, damn. You know what comes next. Shoot my shot. Shot went in. Conversate, exchange numbers, and boom. Now I am in communication with a girl that I've never met before, but I'm saying there seems to be mutual interest. Very early on in getting to know Jamie, it came to my attention that she didn't live where I live. I lived in Houston, Texas, and she lived in Oregon. Weird ass state, I know, but it is what it is. And here's the thing with me when it comes to long distance. Now, at 30 years old, I would never do long distance ever again, mostly because of this relationship. But prior to that, I've been in a long distance relationship, and that actually was my longest relationship ever. And we broke up not because of the distance necessarily. We broke up for reasons that I respectfully feel like had nothing to do with the distance itself. So I guess because of that relationship, for whatever reason, I've conditioned myself into thinking that I'm okay with long distance. Long distance isn't a big deal. While there was a bit of hesitation when it came to Jamie, talking to her early on and figuring out that she lived in a completely different state than me, I was hesitant, sure, but it wasn't an official fuck no for me. And as time went on, as I continued to talk to her, staying up on FaceTime, we're getting to know each other from a distance. I'll be honest, man, I was very open to the idea of giving it a shot. There's something that I noticed early on with Jamie that now I look at as a red flag, but during that point in my life, I actually admired it. And do you guys know the saying opposites attract? Well, something that stood out to me like a sore thumb is Jamie was not like me in a lot of ways. For example, I love movies, right? I love TV shows. That's like one of my favorite things to do. But she hated movies and TV shows. And on the surface level, I would look at a situation like that and be like, different people have different hobbies and interests. So I didn't necessarily think to myself, I'm gonna just write this girl off completely. But it was micro things like that where I started to notice we really aren't on the same page when it comes to that. We definitely still had some common interests like going to the gym together. But for the most part, I just think we walked two completely different walks of life. He was, again, from Oregon. I lived in Houston, Texas. I think down to the scenery, that shit is not the same type of energy. But nonetheless, I pushed forward and I'm still getting to know her. And for whatever reason, I'm attracted to her. I like talking to her and the vibe is there and she's reciprocating my energy. Now I remember it was really close to Christmas time and she had told me like, "Hey, I want to come see you for the first time." I think we probably been talking for like maybe a month of just nonstop communication from a distance. She's like, "Hey, I want to come see you around Christmas time." And I'm like, "Nah, for sure. I don't it's just me and my dog." You know what I'm saying? So pull up. She bought her own tickets and I was like, "Hey, shit, yeah, go ahead, do your thing, man. I ain't gotta spend no money on cool." He's like, trust me. And I'm already knowing I'm gonna have to take care of shit when she get there. So I was excited. I was like, hey, go ahead, buy that ticket, man. I ain't asked no questions. She bought her ticket and she pulled up on me for the first time for Christmas. And I spent my Christmas that year with this woman that I met for the first time, literally a day before. And when I tell you, it was euphoric. It was weird. It almost felt like we connected instantly. The moment that we met each other, we were already in unison. This wasn't my first time doing long distance, but this was my first time getting to know somebody from afar and then coming together. So I don't know, it was weird. Like physically we're meeting for the first time, but emotionally we've been together for at least a month now. So it was definitely a weird feeling, but again, at the time, it felt good. It felt right, and things were pushing. I really don't have too much negative things to say about that first initial experience, but you will see by the end of this video how it fucked with my mentality. So I really can just skip through. Again, I can get into the nitty gritty of every single interaction, but just imagine that relationship the same way where we're talking from a distance and then linking up every other 3 to 4 months. So I think this is crazy, and y'all are gonna start looking at me crazy. I think about I met Jamie about a total of 6 or 7 times over the course of a year. So for over the course of a year, she's going back to Oregon. I'm out here in Houston, Texas, and she came to me pretty much every time. The only reason I didn't go visit her is because she still stayed with her parents. She was 22 years old And I talked to her parents over the phone. They seemed cool or whatever. But if we just keep a spade, like it was just like I didn't want to pack my bags and go over there and go do the whole meeting the family thing so early in the relationship for me personally. So she seemed more than happy to come see me in Houston. So I was, whatever. But I did end up contributing to a few of those plane tickets, but it was pretty even, man. She didn't make things weird or hard, so I wasn't complaining. She wasn't complaining. It is what it is. Every time we linked, it was just euphoric. It was just like nothing could go wrong. I don't think I was ever that clingy in my entire life as far as how we were with each other, and just it was just weird, bro. Even for me myself, and I think part of it what I started to conclude was there was always so much build up and anticipation to see each other. When you're dating someone normally within your city, you see them passively once, twice a week maybe, but you guys are so close, it's so accessible to each other that it doesn't really it's kind of very easy to get used to it. In a negative way to shit on local relationships or anything, I think that's the best way to date, honestly. But when it came to me and Jamie, I just think because we knew we were doing long distance, we were just so excited to see each other every time that when we did link up, what could go wrong? We were just so present in the moment, doing the most. And another big thing is, you guys know me, I'm a workaholic. I'm posting 4, 5, 6 videos a day, every day, multiple channels, got other businesses. I'm grinding. I'm a real workaholic. But because I knew that me and her are doing long distance, every time she would come into town, I would make sure that I cut out time to just really spend time with her and do X, Y, and Z, whether it's dates, just go getting out the house and just doing shit. And that was cool. It even taught me something about myself on how to loosen up a little bit and shit like that. So it was a cool time. This is when things start to get a little, you know what I'm saying? A little rocking the boat a little bit. Eventually, summertime came around. And so Jamie, she was a high school coach for cheerleading or some shit, and it followed like the school schedule. So like teachers and coaches that follow the school schedule, when summer comes around, they don't work in the summer. So that we had a unique opportunity where she was kind of like, hey, we've been doing the long distance thing. I want to, I want to come spend my summer with you. And I just remember this being like a big deal for me. Cause I remember the way she proposed it was like, I really like you and I really enjoy us being together, but I really hate the long distance. And I want to come spend the summer with you and just see how it feels for us to be together long term. Now, again, this threw me off a little bit. I remember feeling a little bit uneasy because I was just like, one, I was not in the phase of the relationship of wanting a girl to move into my space. I was automatically turned off about that. But at the same time, I was hearing what she was saying, and that's not what she said. So rolling it around in my head, like, hold on, maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions here. She's not asking to move in. She's just asking to spend the summer with me. And that would honestly give us some time to spend more time together and I guess experience what that could be like. But it's very clearly not a permanent thing, right? So after thinking it over, I was kind of, what summer? 2, 3 months? We could do that. Come on, let's do it. So time is starting to pass. We're getting closer and closer to summer. So you're talking about it a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, I would say probably a week out before she's supposed to be pulling up, she's like, hey, I think I want to drive. And I'm like, drive? Why would you drive? And she's like, well, if I'm going to be there for a whole summer, I don't want to be carless and I don't want to be a burden to you, you having to drop me off everywhere if I want to get up and go somewhere. So I'm kind of just like, the drive from Oregon to Houston, it's fucking 20+ hour drive. She would be driving by herself. I don't know. The man in me didn't really necessarily feel comfortable about my girl doing that. So now I'm like, all right, here's what I'll do. I'll fly into Oregon. We'll pack your car with whatever you're going to need for the summer, and then we'll drive back together. And I was doing that more through the lens of just wanting to be a gent and make sure that she's not. This just sounds unsafe. I don't know. Me personally, I don't necessarily like that. Then it also starts to dawn on me, damn, this is starting to feel more heavy. That like as we're getting closer to this date, now you're bringing your car, now you're packing up your car. Oh my god, like this starting to feel heavy as fuck, you know? But I could just ignore my gut feelings for whatever reason, and I just keep pushing forward, and I end up in Oregon. Now that was a unique experience. Instantly, it was my first time going to Oregon, and I was a completely different walk of life. I'm talking about, let's just call a spade, Caucasian motherfucker central. I'm talking about, I did not see any black people. The only black person that I saw in Oregon was Jamie. All of her friends were Caucasian. And I'm not trying to point that out as a negative thing to the Caucasians, man, but it's just like, you got to understand, I come from Miami, Florida, born and raised in Miami, Florida, and I'm living in Houston, Texas for the past however many years of my life. I'm just used to a lot of diversity. No, that shit was crazy. I felt like anytime I walked anywhere, motherfuckers are clenching their purses like this, just by looking at me. And I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. It was definitely like a culture shock for me. I get to Oregon, I meet her people, they threw a nice little get together for me, and it was nice. Parents liked me, it's cool, whatever. But one thing that I didn't like, and I clocked this right away, is I didn't like her friends, bro. And this is something that I think remains true just like all around. Birds of a flock fly together, man. And I remember feeling like when I met her friends, I'm talking about, these women are bird brains. And I cannot stress that enough. One girl, she's like 35, still living with her parents, but she has a kid, but she also has baby mama drama. And look, I mind you, I'm definitely the type of person, mind my business. I don't know her situation. But what I do remember is, over the course of me talking to Jamie for however long, this friend is always trying to drag her out to go party and do all these degenerate things. And again, we were still early in a relationship, so I'm still getting to know her. I'm not policing or telling her what she can and can't do. Shit, you can always do whatever the fuck you want to do. But if it doesn't respect our boundaries, then that's a problem. Anyways, I just remember feeling that this friend is like, yo, Jamie's always telling me how you got this problem and that problem, but you don't seem to have any level of priorities together. And that shit always threw me off. And after meeting her in person for the first time, I'm just like, yo, this grown ass woman just still trying to kick it with this 22-year-old girl. Yo, what is your issue? Like, you pushing 40. Bro, what are you doing? Lock in. It was weird because like, that was her friend group. There was another woman that I met that honestly felt a little bit older too. She was probably a little closer to my age. She was 32, but just still trying to fit in with the young cool cats. I'm 20, I'm 26, 27 at the time, and Jamie's 22. So I just felt like, why is two of her closest friends 34 and 32? But hey, I don't know, bro. It just, again, felt like those women didn't have their priorities together. And anytime when I go to their pages, let's keep it spade. You know, I'm lurking too. I'm making sure shit checking out, and just always partying, always doing stupid shit. I don't know, bro. That shit definitely rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, I knew I didn't like her friends from afar, but after meeting them in person, I was like, oh, damn, this is not a good crowd. And these are her friends. And now the red flags are low-key starting to wave a little bit in my body and soul, because I'm like, yo, what the fuck? There's no way she's hanging around these people every day and not getting into some bullshit. Facts. That's just facts. But again, at this point in time, I'm already in Oregon. I'm already this in deep with her. I'm just like, look, I ain't see nothing. I didn't necessarily feel anything off this whole time. This is just her friends. I feel like I'd be tripping to just blow this whole situation up because of this, right? So we keep it pushing. Fast forward, buys, we pack up her car, and then We are heading back from Oregon to Houston. It was smooth, it was whatever. It was long, it was tiring, but there was no real big issues there. Now, she was getting a little bit overly emotional. I remember her just being like, oh my God, I miss my friends so much and my family. Yeah. Which, again, it's like, I get it. But then at the same time, I was like, it's not like this is forever. So, shit, it doesn't have to be that deep. But, anyways, we get back to Houston, and instantly I remember having this conversation with her and kind of being, hey, I'm glad you're here. This is going to be dope. Let's do whatever we got to do to make you comfortable and feel like you're at home. But what is different this time around is usually when you come visit me, I'm cutting work time out of my schedule so that I can spend time with you. Now, I need to be locked in. So I'm not saying that we're not gonna do things and have a great time, but I got a job. I'm a YouTuber. I create content, and believe it or not, this job never really stops. I don't want to go on a side tangent here, but this job damn near be 24/7, bro. Some of y'all say y'all want to be content creators. Be ready to pretty much be in content brain 24/7. So it's kind of overwhelming if you're not ready for it. But long story short, I'm trying to let her know, like, I'm not Mr. Lazy guy. I'm a workaholic and I need to get my work done. And I just remember her clicking at me, no, it's not going to be a problem. I get it. You got to work. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You got to work, of course. I'm like, oh, perfect. So me being me, I'm trying to be mindful and make sure that I'm still scheduling time for us to do X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, we gotta do as men, right? We gotta hold it down. Bills don't stop just because I want to go have fun and kick it with Short. I started to notice this pattern, bro, and I promise you to this day, I get flashbacks of it was these 5 words. I used to get something that by the first week, she was all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? I could see a little frustration in her eyes every time she's trying to spend time with me and I'm just trying to locked in doing my thing. But by the second week, bro, it was these 5 words that pretty much brought everything to an end. What are we doing today? Bro, I'm telling you, every day I would get up and that would be the first thing that she'd ask. And again, on the surface level, I remember when she first started saying it, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, well, today I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get some recording done, some editing, maybe make some phone calls, send some emails, just regular work stuff. What about you? What do you have planned? What are you thinking of doing? Oh, well, yeah, I'm just here. Maybe we could go to the park. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that. And I'm like, oh, maybe we can. Sure. But every day, my nigga, I go through a full work day. I'm moving things around. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then by the end of the day, maybe we did go to the park that day. Maybe we did go fucking, I don't know, go fucking roller skating or some random ass activity. And then the next day I'd wake up and she'd be like, well, what are we doing today? And then the next day she'd wake up and then she'd say it all over again. What are we doing today? And I'm just like, today I got work to do, but I don't know. I don't really want to do anything today. I'm just chilling. And it's funny. Every time I'd be like, nothing, babe. We're chilling. You get a little, oh. And I always would feel like it was so weird. I was like, are you confused about something? Do you not just know how to sit down and relax, chill? We have to do something every day. And bro, when I tell you, it only got worse. Literally, I'd wake up in the best mood ever. And then those 5 words would just destroy everything for me. What are we doing today? Because it started to become very apparent that this girl didn't know how to just sit the fuck down and chill. But the thing that I hated the most was during the time I didn't know how to clock it. I would just kind of feel myself starting to rush through my recordings, rush through my work list, rush through my process and try to make her happy. So now instead of recording my normal 4 or 5 videos a day, I'm only recording 1 or 2 videos a day because she wants to go do this random activity that again was just like, sure, it was cool for a date here and there, but I'm talking about every fucking day I'm having to fulfill this fantasy of doing things that are fun, super lovey relationship shit. And mind you, I'm paying for it. And I would say about a month straight of this, my nigga, I was genuinely starting to feel anxiety. I, bro, and I'm not the type of person that gets up on here and be like, oh, that gives me anxiety. No, this girl was genuinely starting to give me anxiety because I literally started to feel like I was just performing. What do I have to do to make her happy? We gotta do something. Like, is it, do I take her to the park? No, we already did that. She's not gonna have fun. Oh, maybe there's a carnival in town. Let me check if there's a carnival in town. Oh no, if there's no carnival, fuck. What haven't I done yet? And it was never ending. And I started to notice this nasty little undertone of attitude that she would have. So me and my niggas, like me and my people, we know how to have a good time with nothing. And what I mean by that is, if we just gonna sit down and play fucking Uno, we just gonna sit down and play fucking Uno. We don't need everything to be this big, extravagant, super fancy situation for it to be a good time. But that just wasn't the case for her. I remember this one time, same situation, wake up, what are we doing today? My God. And I had found this water park that wasn't too far out. And I was like, we'll drive out. I'll take this 30-minute drive to this water park that I found. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a cool time. It was mostly, really wasn't even a water park like that. It was pretty much like big ass pool. And there was like a couple rides. Something cool, just pop out, enjoy the day, enjoy the sun. But I just remember her complaining, bro. I'm talking about, why don't we go to this one? This one has more of a beach vibe. And I'm like, yo, this is Texas. We're not in Miami. I know what a real beach is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have more fun going to this pool spot than we are to this man-made beach because it's not going to be hidden for nothing. And she's like, I don't know. I just want to go to the beach. I just want to feel the beach vibes up. I'm like, all right, bitch. I don't give a fuck. So let's go to the beach vibe spot. All right, send me the address. I'm not talking to her like this, but I'm frustrated, man. And I'm just like, all right, I don't care. I'm saying whatever make you happy. And again, literally that was the bag I was in. We end up going to the beach spot. And I said it would. It's just not hitting for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's clearly a man-made beach. It's clearly just not, I don't want to say unsanitary, but it wasn't a natural beach, bro. It just wasn't hitting for nothing. And of course, what do you think she's going to say? Oh my gosh, I'm not getting in that water. That's disgusting. And then I'm like, yo, everybody's in the water. Everybody that did show up is having a good time. They're in the water. They're making the most out of it. The sun is out. They're just having a good time. Shit, I went in the water. So, no, I'm not getting in there. And it slowly all started to make sense, bro. This girl was a dopamine addict and a bougie bitch. And again, while I'm going through it, I didn't feel that necessarily that way. I knew I wasn't necessarily happy, but I'm just going with emotions and I'm just trying to please my girl. But it didn't stop, bro. It was a never-ending pit of trying to please somebody. That appetite would never be fulfilled. It was true gluttony for dopamine. And once it finally started to click for me, it didn't take long for me to lock back in. I sat her down, I talked to her, I said, hey, you got me out here left and right, bending backwards, going above and beyond, trying to satisfy your goddamn fantasies of fun. And this shit's fucking up my schedule. I'm seeing my money go down. I'm seeing my views go down. My focus isn't there. And I'm starting to diagnose that you got me doing too much. You're out here. Go join a fucking fitness club or some shit. I don't know. But like, we need to have more of a set schedule. Since you want to have fun, I'm willing to compromise as a nigga, right? I know I'm more of a workaholic nigga. I know I can work 24 7 days a week and not really get bored or tired of it. So let's maybe have a set day where it's one day out of the week. And mind you, I remember this because I literally took out the iPad. I might to this day would probably still have the notes in the iPad where on this day I'm going to do this. Let's have a scheduled planned day that doesn't involve spending money. We do this, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe once a week on a Saturday, we go on a nice dinner date, whether it's expensive or it's cheap, but we go do something. We get out the house and do something. And she seemed receptive to it on the front. But after that conversation, my nigga, that girl was depressed. And it really kind of started to psych me out because now we're in the house together and I'm doing what I'm doing. But every time I turn the corner and I'm just looking at her, just fucking sulking, just a bag of depression. It's in my energy and I'm feeling that energy. And I'm constantly asking, what's wrong? What's good? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm just thinking about what? I just miss my friends and my family. And it's like, understood to a degree, but I just started to feel as if, damn, do you not know how to chill? I didn't want to overstep and disrespect her feelings, but it felt like so much of that quote unquote, missing her family was only rooted in the fact that she just needed to be doing something 24/7. And straight up, bro, it all started to go downhill from there. So one of my close homies had a girlfriend. I'm gonna call her Tiffany. So Tiffany is one of my close homies' girls, right? And her birthday was coming up. And in the time that Jamie had been here, her and Tiffany, I wouldn't say they got like super close, but they done linked up a few times and got cordial with each other, right? To my knowledge now, I didn't know at the time. Jamie thought Jamie went to Tiffany and was like, "Hey girl, we should do something for your birthday." And she's like, "Oh, well, what should we do?" "Well, I saw this spot on TikTok that it's actually going to be on your birthday. Let's go and we can invite the guys and it'll be like a dope little date night and you can celebrate." Cool, right? Tiffany goes, "Oh, well, what is it and how much is it? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm just a little bit tight on money right now and I just don't know how much is it." This girl told Tiffany, "Don't worry about it. Berto will pay for it." Excuse me. This bitch told another girl who's not my girl, ain't giving me no nothing. I ain't getting nothing out of that situation. I ain't fucking that bitch. I'm not having no relations with this woman. I ain't talking to this girl every day. This is my homie's girl. And you telling her that I'm gonna pay for her birthday? Got me fuck. What the fuck? But I need y'all to understand that I know all of this now. When it's happening, I didn't know nothing of this. So Jamie, he tells me about the night and she says, "Oh no, it's going to be a great night and let's go." I'm like, "Show." But I remember telling her, I was like, "Damn," telling me last minute because she told me the day of. And I was like, "Damn, sorry, babe, I'm not feeling too hot today. And you're telling me this last minute, but we'll see how it goes by the end of the night." So the end of the night comes around and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I remember feeling like shit. My head was hurting. I just was not in a good mood. But she's bringing this up to me and I'm gonna push through and I'm gonna make the most out of it and not make a big deal. We go, I'm chilling, but again, I'm not in the best mood. This was brought on to me last minute and I'm just there. The night was fine, I guess, but he was giving me attitude the whole night. Like it was just weird the whole night. And then again, by the time the check came around, everyone's looking at me and I'm confused. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? She not about to pay for her own shit. And I ended up just paying for it. I ended up hitting up bro at the end because again, she had her own man that was one of my homies and he ended up splitting the tab with me. So I wasn't tripping on it. But it was kind of still, I remember clocking that. Yo, what the fuck? Was that just an expectation? And again, I'm speaking from foresight because I done talked to Tiffany afterwards and I'm cool with Tiffany. She was like, "No, she told me that that was cool. She said that's what you wanted to do." And I'm like, "Shit, me, fuck, I fuck with you, but I don't fuck you that much, bitch." You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? So it's cool, but I just remember her giving me attitude that whole night. And then by the end of the night, I'm clocking certain shit. And it's like, yo, I didn't like how you set me up with this dinner date last night, and you told me last minute, and then I end up paying for more for the tab and shit. I didn't like that. And she's on some, oh, I didn't know, blah. And then I pretty much said she's sorry, but looking back, bunch of bullshit. Then there was another situation. I also remember I wasn't feeling that good that night. Genuinely was actually tired as shit because I was probably up the night before doing extracurricular activities with this woman. And when I'm talking about extracurricular, no, I'm not even talking about clapping cheeks, bro. I'm talking about just out and about, moving and doing bullshit. Shit that I don't give a fuck about. Just to keep her happy. I remember them coming back to my spot. I go shower and I'm just laid up because I'm tired, and I'm laying in my bed ready to go to bed. And she's out in my apartment with some of her friends that she had made, just drinking and making some listening music and just being loud and shit. And it's fine. Again, they're at my crib. They're safe. It's a Saturday night, but clearly this is my spot, and I'm laying in bed. I'm tired. You could tell the party's over for me at least, right? So 10 o'clock, it's cool. 11 o'clock, it's cool. Midnight, it's like, all right, bro, I've been trying to sleep or catch some Z's to midnight, and you my girl, and you in my crib making a mess and being loud and obnoxious and shit. You would think that you would have some courtesy to be like, all right, the party's over. It's time to start winding down. Doesn't happen. 1 a.m. comes along, and I literally remember getting up, going outside, not in front of everybody, but you said, "Hey, Jamie, let me holler at you for a second." And I just told her, "Hey, let's start wrapping it up. I'm tired. I'm trying to go to sleep. Party's over." And not even in a rude way. I'm just like, it's time to go to sleep. I'm not trying to hear this shit. I gotta wake up and have another day tomorrow. She's like, "What? Are you serious? Well, what are you talking about?" What is serious about what? Yes, I'm dead serious. To wrap the party up, please. She's like, "We're literally at your house. What's the big deal? We're safe. It's not a problem." And I'm like, "It's not a problem for you, but I'm ready to go to bed. And I am ready for the party to be over. I do not want to be hearing music and fucking girls laughing in the back of my subconsciousness as I'm trying to catch some Z's. And I would like to lock my fucking doors. If you guys gonna keep this party going to 6 a.m., I'm gonna end up having to get up, make sure that the spot is secured and everybody's safely out of my supervision. So yes, it's over." And mind you, I'm relaying to this information to her respectfully. "Wow, I didn't know you were like that. Blah. We're literally don't know what the big deal is. We're just trying to have fun, and we're literally just here, and you always are tripping about little stuff. You don't ever want to have fun." "Oh, I'm always tripping about little stuff. Oh, I never want to have fun." I said, "Hey, all right, y'all. Everybody, music off. You at the teenage parties, and the fucking police come knocking on the door, come shut the parties down. That's how I'm moving. Hey, bruh. Everybody out, music off. Come on." I'm grabbing cups out of hands and whatnot. "Hey, come on, let's go. Everybody out. Come on, let's go. Party's over." She's pissed. And I just remember thinking to myself, "Oh, who is this?" I've seen flashes of her starting to a little grumpy and having that bougie bitch attitude, but this is the first time where she really showed her ass. She talked to me a little crazy. And again, man, I'm a reasonable nigga. Fool me once, shame on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really just looking at it like she must be, maybe she's drunk, she's just been a party night. I'm gonna just let this go. I'm not gonna take it too serious. But this is why you should never do that. People gonna show you exactly who they are, bro. Listen. So she wakes up the next day, she's super apologetic and she's acted, and And I'm kind of, but now I'm slowly really starting to clock shit. I'm really starting to like, take mental notes. I didn't like that, but okay, you're sorry? All right, well, let's keep it pushing then. Incident number 3. Her cousin ended up coming in town to visit her. So she has a cousin that lives in Austin that ended up coming to visit us in Houston. And cousin was cool, whatever, doesn't really matter to me. We spent some time, cool. But come that night, cousin wanted to go pop out with her. Whatever we do, let's go a couple spots and get some drinks. Cool. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember telling her, hey, are you going to be drinking? What's the situation? Because that's like, my main thing is safety, right? If you're going to go out and drink, cool, but how are we going to go about it? Do you need a ride? Do you want me to get the Uber? You know what I'm saying? How you want to go about it? She's like, I'm going to drive. It's not going to be no big deal. I'm going to get a drink or two, but I'm just going to be on some chill shit. My cousin's in town. It's no big deal. I'm not trying to get twisted or nothing. Cool. All right, cool. Just keep me updated. Let me know. Fast forward, it's starting to get a little bit late. I'm doing my regular work. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And I'm getting ready to clock out. I done showered and stuff. It's probably 11:30 or so. And I check in and I'm just like, yo, I'm getting ready to go to bed. So what is it looking like? Where are you? What's going on? She's like, honestly, mind you, I don't even know if this part is true at this point, but she's like, honestly, we ended up driving to her Airbnb and Ubered from there and super or whatever, so I'm probably just gonna stay the night at her crib. All right, that's cool for sure. Boom. Then we, time passes, and then I get a phone call at, I don't know, 1:30 a.m. It's late. I literally wake up out my sleep to fucking 100 missed calls. I'm just like, oh shit, what's going on? She's like, God, I just feel like you're mad at me. I just feel like you're mad at me for getting drunk. And I'm like, the fuck? Not mad at you for getting drunk. If anything, I'm happy that you told me that you had too much to drink and you gon' spend the night at your cousin's Airbnb. There's no issue. I just feel like you just never like to do anything, and I just feel like when I do things, like you get mad. Hold on, bro. Don't start pushing insecurities on me, gang. I ain't never told you I had a problem with you going out and having a good time with your cousin. I just don't like when you do stupid shit. If anything, this was a responsible situation. You told me that you had too much to drink and you're gonna spend the night at your cousin's crib. What the fuck? Oh, I just feel like you're mad at me. Look, I'm not mad at you. She's like, I'm gonna come back. I'm just gonna come back. No, you're not gonna come back. You literally sound drunk. Just fucking stay at your cousin's crib and we'll talk about this tomorrow. It's no big deal. And after doing that back and forth 5 or 6 times, she finally agrees, right? But that I'm not thrown off. I'm like, yo, what is up with this girl? She's tripping. Damn near crazy on some shit. Like, made her even jump to that conclusion because on everything I love, I wasn't giving no passive aggressiveness or nothing like that. If anything, I was happy. I was like, that's smooth. You know what I'm saying? You had too much to drink. I know where you are. You're going to be somewhere safe. Cool, bro. Tell me why. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. And I know this because I literally wake up out of my sleep with a heavy humanoid body on me. Don't know what the fuck is going on. I thought I was in the middle of a nightmare. I wake up to Jamie literally sitting on top of me, staring down and crying. I swear to God, I thought I was looking at a demon. I was like, yo, what the fuck? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about I'm probably in the middle of REM sleep, just knocked out. And she just wakes me up by just literally looking down at me. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, Jamie, are you good? What? I don't know if I'm in a dream. I don't know if I'm in fucking nightmare. I don't know what's going on. I'm just looking up at her like, yo, are you good? Like, what the hell you got going? She's like, I ended up coming back because I was upset. I was like, what? Are you serious? You drove here? She's like, yes, I drove. I was like, didn't you tell me that you were fucking drinking and shit? And she's like, yeah, but I just I had to come back. I was like, now I'm upset. It's like, bro, I was like, bro, what? Are you fucking stupid? Why did you drive here? Why did you come back? On everything I love, everything just started to go downhill from there because I couldn't, I was starting to really see the cracks in her armor break. This girl was one, a dopamine junkie, and two, she had no self control. It was bad. And everything just starts coming out the woodworks. I remember X situation. Every I would say probably once a month, I have a cleaning lady come to my apartment and do a deep clean. I do my regular cleaning and maintenance throughout the month, but once a month, I like to have somebody come in and just do the hard reset and just get in between the nicks and the crannies of where I'm staying. And my cleaning lady came through and she's doing whatever she does. And then, I come home from the gym one day and she went to some Pilates class or some shit. So it was just me and the cleaning lady. And the cleaning lady, what she typically does when she's going through stuff and moving things around, when she doesn't know where to put the stuff, she always just puts it on my apartment table. So tell me why I go out into my apartment kitchen and I see boxes of cigarettes, full boxes of cigarettes. Well, a couple of them are open, but just boxes of cigarettes on my kitchen table. And it's him like, whose cigarettes are those? What the fuck? Whose cigarettes are those? And I'm like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anything. Is this the cleaning lady's cigarettes? I'm confused. And I go up to her and I'm like, are these yours? And she's like, no, I found them. I don't know what to put them. So I put them on the table. I said, bro. So Jamie comes home and I'm like, what's this? I didn't know you smoked cigarettes. And I'm trying not to make a big deal out of it because I really didn't know how to feel about it. I've never been with somebody that smokes cigarettes. I don't partake in smoking cigarettes. I never imagined myself being with somebody that smokes cigarettes, but I guess she smokes cigarettes and I didn't know, like, you know what I mean? And she's just like, oh, like I used to smoke them and I still have them, but I haven't been smoking them since I've been here. So I know you wouldn't like it. And I'm just like, what? That never came up. And since how long you've been smoking cigarettes? Oh, I've been smoking them on and off since I was 17 and it's been tough. And I'm just like, okay, so you want to talk about it? Do you need help? How long has this been a thing? Or not how long has this been a thing, but like, just like how bad is the issue? Just it's not bad. Honestly, I just do it when I'm really stressed out but I'm good. And I'll be honest, that whole time, she's probably been there for what, 2 months at this point. I've never seen her smoke a cigarette. On all the times that we had linked up, I've never seen her smoke a cigarette. I've never smelt like cigarette breath. Cigarettes typically have a distinct smell, an unpleasant smell at that. So that's the only grace I guess I can give her if I'm being 100% transparent. But just more things I'm discovering about you that I don't like. I really don't like this. And the final nail in the coffin, man, was, so I would say probably we're getting semi close to the end of summer, but I just remember there was one week specifically where she was just so depressed. I could tell her energy was like terrible, it was bad. And I'm just like, what's wrong? What the fuck do you what do you need that's gonna make you happy? And she's just like, I really just want to go see my friends and my family. I'm like, all right, come on, let's buy a ticket. Let's get you out there. Let's get you out there. You want to go visit for a weekend just to recalibrate? You're gonna be going back soon anyway, whatever. And she's like, yeah. I buy the tickets, cool. She goes, cool. And honestly, it's crazy. And this is like subtle foreshadowing. I remember the moment I got back from dropping her from the airport, weight, just a whole weight of anxiety left my body. And again, these are things that when you're going through it, you don't clock it as much as you should. But I felt that shit. I was just like, damn, finally feel like free again. I feel I can just do what it is I want to and need to do. Because again, I've been saying for the past however long, I've just been in this non-stop phase of pretty much becoming a people pleaser for this girl just to make her happy because she just needed to be doing something, that she just always needed something. And I just, for whatever reason, I just felt like I was supposed to do that. And I was just doing it subconsciously, and it was bad, man. And I just remember feeling so instantly relieved after dropping her off. But that relief was short lived because now I think that since I experienced being with her and seeing her habits and seeing how she be getting drunk, she be making bad decisions, she's smoking cigarettes and meeting her friends and just seeing that crowd, now I got trust issues. It painted a completely different picture. And suddenly I became somebody that I was not for a very long time, an insecure ass nigga. And when I tell you, every day that it felt like because she was away from her friends for so long, we and her weren't even talking like that because she was always doing something. She's like, first I'm gonna go here, then I'm gonna go here, then I'm gonna go here, then we're gonna go to party, then we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that, then we're gonna go to the club, and then we're gonna wake up, then we're gonna do this again, and then we're gonna. It's like, holy shit, the bitch had a party and a birthday party for every hour of the day. It felt like. So we weren't even really talking like that. And now I'm turning into that nigga that's stalking the Instagram pages, right? And for the most part, everybody, all the friends are posting. You know how I go. You flipping through the stories. You trying to see if you see your girl in the stories, and it's like, oh, she right there. Don't look like she too close to nobody. All right, cool. But now I remember feeling so heavy and the anxiety being so heavy. I'm just like, yo, this shit's crazy. Why am I doing this? Why am I turning into a little bitch? Shit had me fucked up, bro. But ultimately, I didn't see anything, or at least so I thought. So literally, I remember it was a Sunday. It was the last day before she was supposed to come back, my nigga. And I'm lurking her friend's page. And what's the friend's name? Let's just call the friend Anna. I'm lurking Anna's page. Tell me why I'm blocked. No, matter of fact, it doesn't say I'm blocked. What it says is this page is unavailable. Since when is this page unavailable? Am I blocked? What the hell is going on? So I'm going back and forth. It's not working. I go to my other page. You niggas got burners in these streets, man. Stop playing. We got the alt accounts. And it doesn't say I'm blocked. And it doesn't say unavailable. But now the page is private. But it wasn't private before. It wasn't private on Saturday. It wasn't private. It wasn't private on Friday. It wasn't private on any other times where I seen the bitch's page. So she just woke up today and decided to private her page. Her best friend, the 35-year-old irresponsible one that told you about earlier, all of a sudden. So I crash out instantly. I'm screenshotting from the alt account. Matter of fact, I don't even think I screenshot. I was so on 10. I screen recorded it and I was just like, yo. And I'm exposing my alt accounts and everything. Because I was over it. I don't give a fuck. Crashed out. And I send it to Shorty. I'm like, yo, why all of a sudden I can't see nothing on your best friend's page? What the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And I think she was going to a rave that day. That's what really fucked me up. That's an important detail. A rave, bro. Remember when I told you when I went to Oregon, just a bunch of Caucasian white people and shit? When you close your eyes and think of a rave, what do you imagine? Half naked girls, drinking, drugged out, dancing, making out with random niggas. It gets bad, bro. Like, that's what a rave is. I know there's some goody two-shoe girl that goes to a rave and probably isn't doing that, but nah, bro. I wasn't jacking that shit, bro. On some real shit. And fucking, I'm sending it to her. And this was after the rave. I think I waited till after the rave, after she had hit me back to see what she was got going. Get a little temperature check, but it was more of the same. She was out drinking and doing the most and I was just like, so tell me about this. Why was I blocked? What's the coincidence there? She calls me, she's on some, what the fuck? Are you serious? How are you going? Why are you lurking my friend's page? You're clearly not blocked. I clearly am blocked. She's like, check it right now. Well, I'm probably not unblocked now. I've been watching it this whole time. I was tripping this whole time, stalking her page this whole fucking time, and I was blocked this whole time, nigga. And now I'm magically able to see it. Oh, you got me fucked up, bro. And honestly, bro, it just got ugly. We're just going back and forth. Honestly, I remember turning into somebody that I'm not proud of. I was definitely getting super emotional. I wasn't like calling her out her name or nothing, but I'm definitely yelling. I'm just like, now you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. You think I'm a bitch or some shit? You playing me in my fucking face? Nah, fuck that. I'm not going for that. I'm tripping. And ultimately, I was just, no, bitch. As soon as you get back, we're done. I'm not going for this. And she's crying and she's like, and over the phone and with all the shit that she had put me through up until that point, I was like, nah, I'm straight. I'm standing on that. But what ended up happening is by the time that she got back, I knew I didn't want to be with her, but it felt so emotional. And what I feel like I started to realize what was happening, bro, is that girl, every time that I saw her, it was on 10. The emotional levels was always on 10 because we got to know each other from afar. We never met each other in person. We had that build up whole couple months of just talking from afar, FaceTiming from afar, getting to know each other. So our very first time seeing each other was a huge dopamine rush. It was boom, oh my God, I'm meeting you for the first time. So magical, so euphoric. Love, love. And that's what it felt like every time we saw each other. I was taking time out of my work, making time for her to the fullest extent. It was like I was going on mini vacations every time that she came into town. So I think it low key built a foundation for the both of us where I almost painted this expectation of somebody that I wasn't truly was. I obviously liked and enjoyed spending time with her, but I wasn't as available that I may have seemed in those moments where she came to visit me. And she clearly was the type of woman that just needed that constant validation, that constant movement, always needing to do something. And the reality is, I don't think that's healthy for any relationship, period. I don't think that's something that people should be striving for at all. But if we play devil's advocate here and say that I guess somebody's out there for her, sure, I guess, whatever. But that wasn't me. And I think that painted a picture of somebody that I wasn't. To a degree, she started to try to put a front up, at least in the beginning, of who she was, because she probably saw the type of individual that I portrayed myself to be from the things that I would tell her what my habits were and what my daily activities look like. She was like, oh, so he's probably not going for X, Y, and Z. So let me try to not be a complete degenerate and only be about fun. But the reality is, she couldn't keep the mask up forever. And that shit slowly started to unravel itself. And when she got back, man, it was just ugly because I was in this emotional state where I was the one that quote unquote broke us up. I called it quits. But then when she was sitting there right in front of me, I guess I just didn't necessarily want to. So then I found myself in a position where I was, hey, let's work it out. But she had came back with her suitcase empty, just ready to pack her shit up and go back. So now she was conflicted and now we're making up, but not really making up. And it was just a really emotional roller coaster for that last week. Another big thing was since I broke up with her, she told her mom to fly in a few days after she landed so that she could just come back, get her stuff, probably only have to wait for 2, 3 days. Then her mom's going to come in into Houston and drive back to Oregon with her. So it was damage. It was already over. It was within this weird place. Just imagine being in a relationship with somebody for, at this point, for like, was pretty much a year, regardless of everything, and dealing with somebody for like a year, abruptly break up, and then also have to stay in the same space with them for like extra 3 days. And when I tell you, bro, that shit was weird. It fucked me up because we're making up, but we know it's still over. Then we're arguing, and it's further justifying why it's over. And then, but we make up again, all in the matter of 3 days, just heavy arguing all day. And just all of her ugliest traits are, all of my ugliest traits are coming out because we just didn't mend well. And it really showed, yo, I was in a relationship with a stranger. And it was almost a blessing that she came that summer because it exposed everything. You know what there's a saying, you never really know somebody till you live with them. And I ain't gonna lie, while that was one of the worst experiences I've had with a woman as far as being in an intimate situation, living with a woman, I've never done that before. I would argue that I would opt to live with a girl multiple times before I ever think about marrying a girl. Because I need to know that we can tolerate each other every single day before I get into a forever situation with you. Because that shit, bro, it exposed everything. It really exposed everything. People will genuinely show you the best sides of them and try to keep that mask up as long as possible, especially if they feel like you're a good fit in other areas. But one thing that I think has been 100% apparent to me is you can't change people, bro. And you shouldn't be going into any relationship thinking, I'm gonna change this person. If I do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna be able to make them a better person. No, bro, you won't. The only person that can make that person a better person is themselves. You might spark something in them. They might look at your habits and the things that you align with and say, hey, I want that for myself. But it's not until they wake up and start applying that shit for themselves, then that the change will actually come. But you just trying to force it down their throat and lead by quote unquote example, honestly, bro, I think that shit's a bag of bullshit. You know, you can lead by example all you want, but if that person doesn't have that awakening and enlightenment within themselves that they moving weird, they just gonna be on bullshit. And that's really what happened. And I think we didn't spend that little summer together. I don't know, bro. I feel like there's a possibility I could have still been in that relationship, just getting those dopamine hits whenever we visited each other. Because again, in that format, when it's like I'm taking time off from my regular life and she's taking her time off from her regular life and we're just coming together to spend a weekend, 4 days a week, it was great. Everything was perfect. But once it went to like regular life, regular shit, regular consideration shit, regular habits, we just did not align on that at all. And it was a very weird experience. And I'm happy for it. I think it shaped me more as a man. I think it further showed you never stop learning, especially when it comes to the dynamics of men and women and just everything that comes with it. Everybody's different. Every little relationship's gonna have its pros and cons, and it's not a message to just call it quits on the first sign of not being able to agree on something. But it also showed me I definitely, those little things that I thought weren't a big deal, we didn't really have the same amount of hobbies. It started to make me look at it different. No, we don't need to be exact copies of each other because that would be pretty boring too of a relationship. But god damn it, if my favorite thing to do is X, Y, and Z and her favorite thing to do is FGK, if those two things aren't in the same will, maybe this isn't gonna work out. It gets deep, it gets complicated, but that was the last really bad heartbreak I had, man, because again, I think emotions were just too high. I allowed myself to get so flustered and turn into somebody that I hadn't seen in a long time. I feel like I haven't done no sucker ass shit like that since high school, for sure. High school. And at 26, I've been kind of shaking a lot of those bad habits. But it goes to show how any little situation can pull you right back into some bullshit. So we're all human, and I'm not mad at myself or nothing for it. I think I needed that. I think it definitely helped add some extra perspective. And I'm 30 now. That happened that's 4 years ago, running on five. We're halfway through 2026 now, so learned a lot from that, and it's in the past. But that was an ugly situation that I had went through, man. And I genuinely thank God every day that that breakup happened, because I think if me and that woman were to still be together and were potentially get married, I would have been miserable. Like, and mind you, she was a woman, beautiful. I think that's what fucked me up too. I genuinely was very attracted to her. Very beautiful woman. It was just a mess, man. But message of the day for real with this one is, again, don't allow yourself to go against your morals just because she looked good, just because it feels good. Always come back to your morals. Always come back to the things that you know to be true within yourself. And if they do not align, if they do not respect that, if you guys are not on the same page, it might be in your best interest to walk away. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, man. It's been a long time since I did a story time like that. So hope you guys appreciate it, man. Where you at, family? I'm gone. Mind you, the other day I ended up, she's dating some white boy now that does this in his pictures. Like, yeah, bro. I don't know how we connected, but clearly I'm not her type. She's not my type as far as like the things that we're into. Like, she's just, I I don't even want to know some of the bullshit that I probably don't know that that girl was into, bro, because it just would have been a nightmare. I don't even I wouldn't even be friends with a guy that takes pictures like that. So, I can't imagine having a girlfriend that would be dating a guy that acts like that, which would be me. Like, I don't do shit like that. I even have a theory, I'm gonna be nigga, I'm a human. I did a little bit of scrolling when I saw she posted her new man. And I felt good, because I was like, holy shit. I feel like I done came up. That's who you're with? Alright. Yeah, watch out. You know what I'm saying? It's always a nice little pat in the back when you feel like your ex done downgraded on some shit. Let's just keep it a stack. But I feel like on some real shit, when I was looking at his page, I see him posting some other bitches too. So he got multiple, at least 3 girls on his page that he be posting consistently. And I'm like, is my ex in a poly relationship now with some crazy white boy? I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. It's none of my business though, so it don't matter. And just to be clear, I have not used any real names and real locations in this video. So, you guys, that will remain anonymous, and we're not looking to spread any hate on anybody or anything, but this is just a real organic story that happened to me, man. And I just wanted to give y'all my side of the story. So I'm not looking to spread no hate, but yeah, bro, it gets wild out there, bruh.
Where you at, Berto?